Welcome to our next adventure with Chemology 411, a podcast about anything and everything. Kim and her guests will take you behind the scenes, behind the story, or behind the bar. So sit back. Make sure your seatbelt is fastened, tray table in its upright position, all carry-ons stored under the seats. But for this adventure, electronic devices must remain on, as we are ready to take off on our next adventure. Introducing Kim Schultz and Chemology 411.
Welcome to episode 6. This episode is going to include what will kids today never know about, because we kind of grew up in the 70s and 80s, and why any good business needs a marketing plan. I'm Kim Schultz, and I'm your adventure coordinator for this show. Let's say hi to my co-host, Tyson Harley. So, what kind of BS story do you have for us today?
Hello, Kim.
Can you tell I'm a little feisty before I go to vacation?
Hey, why not? Hey, I'm good for it. So, what kind of BS story? Well,
I
was at the library.
Ooh, we have one of the best libraries.
Have a great library. I don't go to it a lot, but when I do, it might be kind of my normal routine because I'm finding that, tonight it worked really well to go do show prep there and be focused on it. So maybe I'll do it more often. But yeah, so library's great. It won 2016 Library of the Year or something.
Oh my gosh.
A real gem of the community. I know we're not metropolitan in some sense, in the kind of classy city, but still it is a gem of the community.
Our library blows some other libraries out of the water.
And I'm glad you finished that, because it would have totally sounded like the opposite thing. We would have had to have a fight. Our library blows. So anyway. But the thing about having such a great community resource is that you do get a lot of people there.
Oh, yeah.
And you get a lot of people using free services and, really weird people. For instance, I was there.
Are you the
that
weird
was
person?
I was only for that joke. It's the only reason I said that. That's why I use the word weird. But anyway, it's funny, right? Because, there is somebody, big library, big open area. I'm on the computer. All of a sudden I hear, I like women. I like women. I'm like, what is going on right now? It actually ended up being a high school age, but it's still just kind of...
He likes women.
Okay. Good for you, and thanks for the message.
Was he by himself?
And I don't know. I think he was a high school age kid, and he was down in the area where some other... So I don't know why he said it exactly. All I know is that it was said, and it tickled me slightly. And let's see. You also have... you've got the speakerphone conversation girl, of course. Walking through the library. Well, what did you tell him? Well, I told that MFer, blah, blah, and this isn't a black girl. I'm not even trying to say that.
No, it's just yelling on people. I don't understand.
A private conversation on the speakerphone,
they don't care.
Walking through public places.
You know what? Here's the deal. I think they justify it like this. Well, if she was with me, you could hear her if she's walking in the library with me. So it's okay that you hear her, because you can't see her, but
just dropping F-bombs, either the person or coming off the phone, both. And related to that is just, outside voice girl. Doesn't care. The little spunky, 17-year-old who thinks it's kind of cool to be very, very loud and also be very opinionated.
Obnoxious, I like to call them. They're just kind of obnoxious.
So I'm talking pretty loud right now, and this girl put me to shame, except she's at the library. Right. Which, it didn't really bother me, but it was hey, I literally said out loud, use your inside voice, why don't you? She was far enough away and moving, she didn't hear it.
You didn't get in a fight or anything.
No,
you were safe.
Once I fought a bum, but that's a different story entirely. My sister cracks up. Not really. When I say fought, I had an altercation. Not a great look when you're not a bum yourself.
Right.
Not a great look. So anyway, that's what's going on with me.
That was pretty
good. The library's great. Love it.
Yeah, the library's got a lot of entertainment there because it's kind of located in a lower income area of our community.
It's accessible.
And so it's great because those people can at least walk there. And so it's interesting. I go to meetings there all the time. We've got a great resource. So if you're ever in this area, even as just an attraction, go to the library.
Go check all the parts of it.
We have I think they have 400 to 500 different things every month going on there. I mean, they do so many classes, and everything that you do there is free. I mean, well, we pay taxes for it, but you don't have to pay. They take Word and Excel, and
they had some Star Trek episode. Marathon of some type.
Yeah, there's the movies and book clubs, and they bring in
and if you don't know, like our library, if you have a decent sized one, you might have this. You can, with your membership, you can go do things like Treehouse, which is learning coding.
Yeah.
That would cost extra. It's the learning tool that is now associated to LinkedIn. It was it's got the woman's name is the name of the learning tool.
Right.
So they've got that, which those are usually at cost where you'd pay $20 a month or something like that to continue on with that. I can't think of the name of that. They've got Treehouse. They've got all kinds of internet media type things that you also get to with your library. So sometimes I think some people, and I know I've done this before, think, okay, I'll just go get a cheap movie at the store. It's like you can preview a lot of movies and then just give them back. I mean,
just at the library, just rent them. I use Libby on my cell phone for all my audiobooks. And it's free.
Libby,
I just have
Overdrive, Hoopla.
Overdrive turned to Libby on mine,
okay.
So I think it's the same thing, or I don't know. But you can get multiple libraries, so you can. It's just awesome.
There's another thing where you can actually look up, read recent magazines. Is that Libby as well? Anyway, there's one where your library might have that too.
I don't think.
Anyway,
so.
good resource, but also good entertainment too while you're there.
Exactly.
So.
Okay, so that kind of leads us into our first topic is what kids will never know about. Let's think about the library, because right when you said that, I started thinking about it. I was like, card catalog.
Sometimes they'll have one sitting in there. In fact, they do in ours. It's not that it probably just only has old cards in it.
I have not seen it, but
it's along one wall somewhere back over in the stacks.
It's probably for the older people that are
like I said, I don't even think it's current. I think it's almost like we had this and it's a library thing. Let's just keep it over here.
It's like an artifact.
You would look that up and see author, subject, title.
Yeah. We used to take classes in elementary school how to use the card catalog. And now you just log in and type in girl loves her dog, and it pulls up 150,000 books about girls loving her dog.
When we were thinking of things that kids wouldn't know about or be confused, honestly, we couldn't really think of the things very easily because we're far enough into the modern age that some of those more manual things, it's been a long time for us.
Right.
So that's a good media thing if you'd like to put on Chemology 411's page what you think. We might put up a specific post and ask.
Right, we might ask.
Let us know what things you like. If a kid saw an old movie or an old TV show, what do you think they would be surprised by, or there'd be something that they literally did not even recognize?
Well, and you can if you're listening to this and you see this episode in Chemology 411, comment underneath it, once we go through it, because we do have a couple. One of my biggest things is the lyrics. Kids have no clue the pain and the agony and the time it took us to figure out the lyrics from a song. So you have your cassette tape and you play it, and then you write it really fast, and then you
know what the best thing was? When your favorite music actually had the liner and it had the lyrics on the end, and it was expanded cassette deal. You'd be like, the lyrics are here.
The lyrics are here. This is awesome.
Great. Yeah.
But if you didn't buy it, you could record off of the radio onto a tape, and then sometimes it was really weird because people would actually put an advertisement in the middle of a song for the radio station, it would be like song, 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 Q108, song, song, song. And you'd be listening going, like they're trying to brand it, like they don't want you to play it at your house party or something. They would try to ruin it because I would tape it and then it would take me like 2 hours to write down the words because you would have to listen, back it up, listen, back it up. And then...
Is that one of the songs? You listen, back it up. Listen, back it up. So yeah, there was that for sure because now you just go Google it. But then we thought, well, that went to another because I'm bad at lyrics. I'm bad at lyrics.
Yeah, I'm
like my brain shuts off. I have a pretty active brain, and a pretty good brain when I bother to engage it fully. But, man, lyrics, I could be saying the most total nonsense. And if that's what I first thought it said,
that's it.
Then that's it for the next 15 years. Until I happen to look at a lyric site or something. And luckily I don't sing in front of people, so they may not know. And that's another reason. It's not like I'm going around saying, hey, you think this lyric's right? I'm going to sing it to you now. It's not like that.
No, it's when you go do karaoke and you're up there and you're like... That's not the word. What is this word? That's not the right words. What's wrong with these people not having the right words?
Another good thing to mention. Obviously misheard lyrics is a thing on the internet, but that doesn't mean you can't tell us some of the ones that really got you for a long time.
Yeah, tell us. I'm gonna have to think about some of them because there are some, not even lyrics. If you get into music back in the day, I was so naive. I had no clue how horribly sexual some of those songs were. I'm just singing and singing, and my friend Kristen, her and I went and had dinner the other night, and she's got a little 4-year-old Weston, and she put on Facebook the other day, she goes, so my 4-year-old's favorite song is Baby Got Back. And I was like, okay, funny story. So when my daughter was in kindergarten, she came home and she was like, such and such doesn't know really good music. And I was like, what do you mean? And our family, we do sing. We are singing fools. And so I said, what do you mean? She goes, well, I was just singing a song. And she turned around and she goes, I will not have that in my car. And Chelsea's like, what? And I go, well, what song were you singing? You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. And I was like, you know what? She's just not cool enough to know the cool songs, Chelsea. Just don't sing around her anymore.
Excuse me while I kiss this guy. Kiss this guy?
Kiss this guy.
Okay, Jimmy, you're cool, whatever. Right? I mean, there's so... And I can honestly tell you, until I heard the misheard lyric, I never even thought of what he was saying.
Okay, what was he saying? What are you talking about?
Kiss the sky.
Oh, kiss the
While
sky?
I kiss the sky.
Oh.
Kiss this guy. I'm telling you, man. And I literally, when I tell you my brain shuts off, I am not kidding, because until someone went, it's funny that that it sounds like Kiss This Guy. I had never even thought of what the heck it said.
What it was.
Kiss the sky?
Kiss the sky.
That said, it is one of my pet peeves when people don't enunciate when they're singing.
Right.
And it's very irritating to me in live. I know we're a slight aside, so I'll finish up. In live music, when they've spent all that time to be songwriters, and then it's just drowned out because the sound guy doesn't care.
He doesn't care. Yeah. Yeah, some of the songs nowadays are just babble. I mean, there's actually words there, but they're not real words. Like, to kind of rap and rhyme, they just kind of make up a word, and you're like, how am I supposed to learn this when that's not even a word?
I think we should just, you know how there's mumble rap? Mm-hmm. And then we'll talk about it, and that was all. And then we go on to hell, blah, blah, blah. We should do Rumble podcast. Mumble podcast.
Rumble podcast. Ooh, we'll have a.
We built this city on sausage rolls. That's not. I never thought that. Even I'm not that stupid. These are really bad.
We
What?
put the city on sausage rolls.
Like the Legend of the Phoenix. Do you know Daft Punk? I know him, but I don't know this song. So apparently, it sounds like the Legend of the Penis. These ants are my friends. They're blowing in the wind. These ants blowing. No one thinks that. I got 2 chickens to paralyze. What? What kind of a freak? That guy, if you're singing that, you belong in prison.
Prison. Dude.
We don't need no sex vacation. Speak for yourself, sir.
Exactly. Exactly. Where do we sign up for the sex vacation?
I got my first real sex dream. Oh, at the 5, whatever. Which would make more sense because it's the summer of what? 69. Okay, we're off track. Okay.
Come on back.
Sorry.
All right,
I just had to provide some examples.
Yeah.
Oh boy, where did our rundown go? Sheesh, and that flurry accidentally tore it up. I'm kidding.
All right. So another one that people like back in the day, airlines were really more of a which just starts out my show. They were fancy, so you dressed up and you wore a dress and you were all pretty. I'm going to wear some sweats tomorrow when I leave, and I'm going to have a t-shirt on because I don't want to go through, they didn't go through metal detectors. So I don't want to put any metal on. I don't need to be stopped and frisked at the airport because they're not sometimes that cute. I mean, I might change. I should bring his change of clothes with a bunch of metal on it, and see the cute guy be like, "I need to go change my outfit."
Before tuxedo, now it's like straight guys in pajama bottoms and Crocs.
Exactly.
It's like, can you imagine if 1957 passenger saw today?
And they got like a meal and they served drinks, but you were talking like $500 or $600 just to fly, to one place, and now it's like $189 round trip. They throw some peanuts at you and you get a pop.
Well, on the other hand, some of it should be cheaper because the seats are smaller and you don't get the food, to your point, and all that.
Yeah, well, I guess they don't throw peanuts anymore because there might be someone allergic on the plane to peanuts, and so we now get pretzels, or we get these little crackers, which are much better than the pretzels, but anyway, so, all right, so that's kind of...
yeah, we're trying to think of gadgets, too, that would confuse people. So just let us know. I'm just not thinking of gadgets off the top of my head.
Well,
that type of thing.
Payphones, the kids will know that it's a phone, but, like...
What?
Most kids would be like, I have my own phone. I don't need a payphone. And VCRs, like... My daughter had VCR tapes, but if she were to have a child, they would probably be like, "Mom, what is this box thing with this thing?" She'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I had all those when I was a little kid." So that kind of moves out of the era. When we did it, the VCRs were like 90 pounds. And now they're just little, and then we had these discs, and now we have
players, yeah,
right. And so you've got Blu-ray, you've got those televisions. Like, remember the big televisions? Like, I've got a 50-inch TV that used to be like 900-pound TV.
So the other thing is the definition of feudal is when people who need to have garage sales think they're going to get the money they need by selling the old VHS tape.
Exactly.
Like, I got a nickel. You want a nickel for the whole collection? 'Cause I don't need no VHS tapes.
I had 3 trash bags full. I'm talking lawn bags full of videos from when the kids were little. And I gave them to my friend Deanne because she had a VCR, and she's like, I don't have a DVD player. And she was like, I'll take them. I said, okay, well, you can take them and you can sell them and do whatever you want with them later. And it probably had like $1 billion worth of Disney. I think I kept the Disney ones. I actually think I kept those because I know that those will be worth money someday. But I gave it the rest of them. I was like, I can't do it. This is... I didn't have any room for them. So But yeah, so those are different things, and even the cell phones are going to be different because they're going to be like a flip phone, a bag phone. You know, like now we have smartphones that have internets and all that stuff.
I can't decide because remember phones have gone smaller, and then they're like, this is too small, so then they gave us our mega phones, and now they're trying to make them thin, and they're trying to take away. Seriously, it's a physical object in my hand. Can I just plug a headphone into it?
Right.
Do I have to really transmit from my waist to my ear? Is that really that you can't even give me another option? No more options. I'm sorry. There's no other way. We've got to have a transmitter and receiver from your waist to your ear. So no wire then, you know, that thing that we use, that wire? No, can't do it.
Yeah.
So it's like, how much thinner can they be and be practical, and will that come back? Or is it so monopolized or not? Because now the Samsungs don't do it either. I don't think the newer Samsungs have headphone jacks.
Oh, that sucked because that's all I ever used. So that I got Bluetooth, but you know when the iPod first came out, it had no on and off switch because I read his book. Who am I thinking of?
Yeah,
Jobs. Steve Jobs. So he had 2 books, and I listened to him on my Libby from the library. And when he brought it out, he's like, nope, I don't want an on-off switch on it. I just want it to it'll just turn off. I'm thinking, how does that even work? Like, I never could figure out how the first iPod turned itself off.
iPod or iPhone?
The iPod. Just an iPod. The first one didn't have an on-off switch. Mine does, so.
Other thing, too, real quick, you said, I actually had 2 like this. One is remembering phone numbers.
Uh-huh. Oh.
We actually used to.
Yes.
For reals. And the other thing is, speaking of phone numbers, and you'd kind of remember it by the pattern, but not if you had the dial phone, because you couldn't remember by pattern. Then you just know the number anyway, though.
Right.
But, I mean, you could remember that way, but I always, when it was the 10 key, you could remember the pattern of your friends, that kind of helped, your friend's number, that kind of helped you. But there were, what was I going to say about this? Oh, of course, the perfect example is the videos of kids in school being given a dial phone. And just watch the hilarity.
Yeah, they're just like, make a call. And the kids are like, what? Like they were like, I don't understand. And kids don't know that you have to put a 1 in front of a long distance number. Because, I mean, kids don't really call long distance that much. And so, yeah, but those phone numbers, it's ridiculous because if something happens to me, I'm like, I know my mom's phone number, my brother's phone number, my daughter's phone number. That's it. Like, I don't know anybody's number because it's in my phone. I mean, it's also I have it in a spreadsheet because my Google goes into my database, so I could find it if I needed to. But like, if I'm stranded somewhere and my phone dies, I'm pretty much screwed to even know a phone number.
I can imagine some skit or something where someone dials 911 just because they want to call their family.
Well, I was just thinking about that. Yeah. But you used to be able to call 411 and say, I need the phone number for Tyson Harley. And they would say, is that the one located on 32nd Street? Or is that the one located? And be like, yes, 32nd Street. Hold on, please. And then they would give you the phone number. Well, there is no directory for cell phones. That's not even available. So you can't find it. So
isn't that ironic because the privacy went up with cell phones and there's nowhere near as many people listed, but then the privacy with everything else about smartphones dropped out of.
I was gonna say, they spy on you all day long, but freaking don't give somebody your phone number.
Our priorities are funny that way, aren't they?
All right, guys, well, we'll be right back after these words from our sponsors. Well, it's that time of the year when we are overbooked and not enough time in the day to get all the fun things done. Holiday season is here, and do I have a great way to help you connect with family, friends, and even clients? Greeting cards used to be huge before technology came in and made so many things very impersonable. Then my friend Cody Bateman came up with a great product that would bring sexy back. Oh, wait, that was Justin Timberlake. Cody brought back greeting cards with a twist. Using an app from your phone, tablet, laptop, or computer, you can make a personalized greeting card for less than $5, including the printing, the stuffing the envelope, and postage. You just download our app on your phone, set up an account, and start changing the world one card at a time. Now that alone is awesome, but it doesn't stop there. You can also send gifts, like brownies, jewelry, toys, and much more, just with one click. My team would love to show you how to use the app and get you started today. This is also a great business tool to help build relationships, so everyone needs this app on their phone. The app is free, and you only have to pay for the cards and gifts you send. We do have monthly packages that bring the total of your heartfelt cards down to around $1.50. So, what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description of this podcast and get started today. You can also email us, and we will set up a meeting to show you how easy it is to send personalized greeting cards. You can also send us your mailing address in our Facebook page, Selfie Cards Matter. We will send you a card. Let us help you make this holiday season the best one yet. All right, welcome back. Now remember, you're going to want to pay attention to our sponsors, especially after the next part. Let's see here, where are we at? What are we going to talk about?
I was thinking you might want to mention some of this stuff, but if not, we can go on to the regular.
Oh, let's see. Let me see what we got here. Oh, yes. I forgot the television shows. So I think, continuing before, we were going to talk about television shows. Kids have absolutely no clue how it is to have anticipation and to wait for anything, except when the season's over and they have to literally wait for the next season to start. But now everything is on demand. So yeah, that was one more thing we're going to talk about, is kind of like that instant thing. So, you know, you have a lyric, you look it up on your phone, you're sitting at a party and you're like, who's that actress that played in that one movie with the bombs and then the dogs came across the street? And people are like, oh man, I don't know. You can be
Meg Ryan? No,
that's not Meg Ryan. Oh, what is it? Jane Fonda?
Susan
No,
Sarandon?
it's not.
Not at all
No,
Susan
no,
Sarandon.
it's not. So if you sit around like, and then your brain's just like, oh my gosh. And so then you're like, concentrate on something else. Let's have more fun. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're like, oh my gosh, it was Susan Sarandon. And so you're like writing it down so you can remember to tell somebody. But now you're like, okay, Google, and talk. Oh, my phone didn't turn on.
I am like, and sometimes we act like we're, you know, pioneers because we didn't use Google for a day or something, right?
But my phone turned on. And my phone didn't turn on.
But to your point then, you don't have those moments. Another thing that has gone way down as a result, although it's still cool, is what they used to have. The origin of this is bar arguments, or really kind of bar bets, the Guinness
Right.
Book of World Records. Where that used to be like the source. Somebody had a
Right.
Guinness book. Let me go look.
Yeah.
And now it's just like you just quickly look it up on
Right,
the
you're
internet
like,
and see if
who-
you're right or not.
You're like, who's had the hiccups for the longest time? And you just ask your Alexa, and
Carl Lewis didn't have 7 of the top 10 long jumps ever.
you look
Yes,
at it.
he did. You want to bet?
I was actually at my friend's house, and his dad. They're very, very
Carl
smart
Lewis's
people.
dad?
No.
Oh.
And
Squirrel.
I made a comment, and I said, so when I mean a lot, I exaggerated that. So I'll be like, it's like 1 million something, whatever. And I made a comment, and we're sitting there talking, and the next thing I know, he's like, it's actually 23,427. And I was like, what? I totally forgot. He looked it up to verify my numbers, and I was like, I'm not freaking Rain Man here. I don't remember all the numbers. I was just telling you it's a large number. Nope. He had to look it up. He had to prove me
But the
wrong
other thing
by
about it, too, is we
20,000.
said is that I'll bet you that the education is different as a result, and I'm sure it is because it's more know how to look up to find information. When I had the Guinness Book when I was a young little smart nerdy kid, I knew that
Wait,
Robert Rod.
You're still... when you were... Aren't you still a little nerdy kid?
I just had to give you that because you're smiling. You're smiling so good. You're like, all right, you got me. Let me give it time.
Sorry, go ahead.
When I was a smaller, younger, little nerdy kid, I knew that Robert Wadlow was 8'11.1 inches. And that Robert Earl Hughes was 1,069 pounds. It's like, do kids even memorize that stuff anymore? Part of it is the early stuff that they learn.
Right.
It's more likely to stay in your head. But I don't know. Before you've learned so many factoids or heard so many factoids, the very first ones that really make an impression, I know that's part of it. But now it's like, I just don't know if kids, memorize stuff just almost out of... Because before, if you want to know something, you better memorize it. If you wanted to have it at the tip of your... Unless it's in the encyclopedia. It's another thing. What's this? Why do you have so many books?
I was going to say, the encyclopedia would probably be something that there'd be like, what is this series of books?
What did you do when, like, a year had passed and things had changed? Or in their parlance or reality, 2 months had passed and the whole world had changed.
Exactly.
No, see what would happen.
What
you would get
happen?
an annual update. That would go at the end. So after 10 years, you'd have 10 extra books.
And then you'd have to buy a whole new series.
Why would you do that? Oh, let me tell you more. The good sets cost $1,000, and people would sell them door to door.
Door to door.
What? You answered your door?
People, you bought stuff from people? Yeah.
You didn't know? Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, there's a lot. And another one is like all of our cars are made totally different. So, like before there were those metal, like all metal cars and no seatbelts. We didn't have seatbelts in the car. They were big boats. They weren't constructed as for safety like they are nowadays. And now they're like fiberglass, and they're designed to just destroy the car but protect the people in it. Like the cages around it, but instead of like the front end of your car is meant to just be smashed, to crumple. And then the back of your car is supposed to be built to withstand someone smashing into you to protect you from that. And so, they're never going to understand. They're never going to understand like how cars work. Because now when a car bumper happens, they're rubber. There was no rubber bumper, rubber baby bugger, rubber baby buck. Oh, wait, what is that? Rubber baby buggy bumpers. Sorry.
I'm rubbing my chin because I don't get the reference. But I'm sure
that was a rhyme. Rubber baby. You have to say that 3 times fast.
Oh.
Rubber baby buggy bumpers. Rubber baby buggy bumpers.
Rubber baby bunker burp. Bunker busters? What did you say?
Or what about all the people that hitchhiked?
Yeah.
The other day I saw a meme.
That's been scary for a long time, actually.
I saw a meme that said, in the 80s, we were told not to get into cars with strangers. In the 90s, we were told not to meet people on the internet. And now we call Uber on the internet and get in cars with strangers.
Good point.
That's kind of cool. All right, so let's move on to marketing. Marketing, I love this because this is what I do. And no, I do not. I mean, I can if I wanted to, but I'm not a marketing person that goes in and develops a marketing plan for you. What I do is I go around, I speak, and I talk to different businesses or groups of people about the importance of marketing. And then my marketing team actually goes in and does all of it for me when people realize that they're not doing it right. And so this is kind of one of my specialties in Social Butterflies from Kansas. That's why we started the Social Butterflies, because we wanted to show people how famous we were on the internet and to go in and talk to people about becoming famous on the internet as one part of a marketing plan.
Well, quickly, remember you said a lot of people have the dream of a small business, and a few episodes back, we talked about, but that doesn't mean they understand their taxes.
No.
And so by the same token, they have a dream for their business, and it's what they like to do, but that added task of really understanding the importance of marketing might not be anything they know how to cook or how to bake cupcakes or whatever.
Right.
They may not have a clue about marketing, but then they get a loan and there they go.
And normally they're just doing it wrong. I mean, like, first of all, the first thing that everybody cuts is their marketing budget. They're just like, well, we don't have a marketing budget. Oh, what? I don't understand that.
Especially early, it's so important. You've got to grow first, right?
Right. Yeah.
So maybe you need to be more creative, more guerrilla.
Going to figure it out. So if you're a business owner, you need to be able to pay attention to how you're probably doing it wrong and why you need to change if you're a consumer. And so we're going to talk about consumers as well, because they're at fault for making it even harder for a business to survive, because of what we talked earlier about how we kind of want things instantly. And we, with the change, kids won't even know what commercials are, because Netflix is no commercials. If a kid is raised on Netflix, they're not going to get to see commercials. They're on their Facebook or their Instagram or whatever, and the commercials are coming through. They're ignoring that. I mean, we're programming ourselves to just not even see things. And so this is making it even tougher for businesses. So as a consumer, if we really want our businesses to survive, then as a consumer, we need to be more responsible and take a little bit more time, and we need to do better. So anyway, so last year, about 2 years ago, what I decided to do is to go around and talk to bunches of people about BAM. And BAM stands for Branding, Advertising, and Marketing. And so BAM, if you want people to come into your business, you need to BAM.
Branding, yes, very important.
And nowadays, branding, advertising, and marketing is nothing like it was in the 70s and 80s. So that's kind of why we talked about the 70s and 80s, is to kind of bring this into, it's not the same. Back then, you did a commercial on television or radio. That was the only way people were watching it. They all watched the news at night, because the 5 o'clock news came on local, the 6 o'clock news came on national, then the 10 o'clock news came on local. And during that news and your shows that you weren't going to miss because you can't watch it again, you're watching the commercials.
Easier. And the other thing is that, for the most part, you could always say, well, yeah, but you could leave during the commercials. Yeah, but they played.
Right.
So maybe you went to the restroom real quick, or maybe you went to the kitchen, but you didn't do that during every commercial break.
Right. And they're subliminally, you're in the kitchen, you're still hearing the song, or 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. This could be the singing. We should have a musical. We'll do a musical edition. We'll do everything in
right
song.
Right after our mumble rap or mumble
when you've got 2 creative people, we can freaking do whatever we want. We can have a lot of fun with this. But anyway, get back on track.
Today we're going to talk about marketing. You think about when you go shopping.
Oh, we're going to wrap it.
I'm excited because it's one of my specialties. I go to McDonald's, have some mac and cheese.
Big Mac. Big Mac with cheese. A Big Mac with cheese. So anyway, most businesses are doing this when they don't even know they're doing it. The other day on Facebook, I said, how long would a new business that requires constant traffic stay open without a marketing budget? And a lot of the people were like, not very long. But I was really amazed at some of the answers when they were like, word of mouth is the best kind of marketing, and you don't need to have a marketing budget, and nobody wants to do marketing. And we've been open for 13 years and we don't market. And I'm thinking, yeah, you do.
Well, there's survival, and there's whether or not you could have gone to the next level, or even if you didn't go next level, because some business owners are happy to know, geez, you know what, as long as I make an okay living and everything's being paid for, and I'm doing what I like, that's great. But it doesn't mean they may not have, gotten 30% more money.
Right.
So sometimes people mistake survival for, striving for, what's the word? Not survival, but instead you're doing really well.
Well, I always say you strive to you thrive. You thrive.
Yeah.
So you want, instead of just to survive, you want to thrive. And so when someone tells me, and I've asked this question multiple times, that word of mouth is the best way, and that is so wrong. It is not right. That is not right, because when something bad happens at your business, more people will hear about that word of mouth than if they had a good experience.
So I find nothing. Listen, if you go there for information, I get it. It's perfectly valid. But personally, I find the restaurant reviews cringeworthy because, like, man, I get it. It's information, but I'm like, gosh, what if it's so many servers? It's one of their first jobs, and a lot of times even the managers might be young, and it's like they gotta administer a whole restaurant, and they may not even know how to really do their checkbook yet, or any number of examples. I'm not trying to condescend, but that type of thing, I'm just not, to your point, of bad word of mouth.
Right. But you're going to hear about it more. If you go in and go on Facebook, you're going to see good and bad. But how many people have actually sent the restaurant an email or contacted them and said, my experience was so good, or call the manager over and just say, you know what, tonight was the most awesome night ever? We don't, because as we say, we expect our night to be awesome, and so that we shouldn't reward someone for doing their job. But yet we're going to destroy them because they were having a bad day. Now, you shouldn't bring your bad day into your job, but you know what? If you go home after your first job that you work 8 hours at, you've had a bad day at work, you go home and your husband says, I'm leaving you, and you now have to go to work and wait tables.
First of all, I'm not even married. Second of all, you got that wrong. A lot of people think that.
What?
Husband, never.
Oh.
Go ahead.
You
So
have
you
that
had a
bad
bad
day. You
day.
had a bad day. Your husband leaves you, and now you have to go serve people food. And you could call in sick and then leave the whole staff short, or you can come in. And so you don't ever know what's going on in anybody's life. It shouldn't be bad, but word of mouth is not the way that a brand new business is going to survive.
Not only that, but to your point earlier, you said that, even though people think, well, we're doing fine, and then when you find out about some article about some business closing,
right.
Your comment on that was,
why do so many small businesses close? And then in the comment section, people are like, I didn't even know you were there.
Right.
Well, I think this is a good place for us to stop. We're going to go ahead and move the rest of the marketing to excursion. Episode 6, excursion number 1. So if you want to hear more about all the cool things that businesses need to know about marketing and even the consumers, please tune in to Episode 6, Excursion 1, and we'll continue the conversation. Thank you so much for giving us your time. We appreciate our listeners and excited that our show is growing so fast. Make sure to comment in our Facebook group, Chemology 411, and if you haven't joined yet, you should. Thank you, Tyson, for helping make Chemology 411 so awesome. Next episode, we're going to talk about holidays.
Holiday. Celebrate. In the meantime, I'm going to have a Whopper.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He brought a snack. This is his second Whopper. So I don't know what he calls what his meal would. All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon. Please keep going on those adventures. Please make sure to keep your adventures going full strong. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.